2026 is definitely shaping up to be a massive one for gamers. From long-awaited sequels to bold new adventures, the next 12 months are packed with titles that you don't want to miss. Welcome to yet another episode of Countdown Central. I'm your host as always, Tooodamngolden, and today we're counting down the top 8 games coming in 2026, the ones that are generating buzz, setting high expectations, and the ones that could end up defining the year all together. Kicking us off at number 8, Capcom is bringing Onimusha back with Way of the Sword, and this isn't just a nostalgia cash grab, guys. It's a chance to modernize one of their most cinematic action franchises, and with this one, expect fluid sword combat, atmospheric environments, and tight, deliberate pacing that lets every swing feel weighty. The new visuals push the feudal Japanese setting to life, from misty castles to ominous villages, and the story promises to weave classic Onimusha tension with modern cinematic storytelling. If Capcom balances the combat, exploration, and story pacing correctly, this could quietly become one of 2026's sleeper hits, a game that doesn't rely on massive hype but sticks in your memory long after finishing it. And as a big fan of this series personally, I can't wait. So at number 7 is Crimson Desert, and it's one of the most ambitious new IPs on the horizon, as it's a massive fantasy world packed with dynamic environments, giant creatures, and a combat system that feels hands-on rather than purely cinematic. This game promises large-scale battles, but it also hints at personal moments and player-driven decision-making, which is unusual for this kind of expansive RPG, so we over here at Omega definitely have our ears perked around this one, guys. And execution with this one is going to be everything, as the risk with this one, of course, is overextension, but if the systems hold together, this could honestly be a breakout hit that surprises everyone, proving that original fantasy IPs can still compete with long-established franchises, and we are definitely excited about this one over here at Omega. Dropping at number 6 is a sequel, guys, and Control 2 certainly has a tough act to follow, but Remedy is uniquely positioned to pull it all off, as the first game's blend of surreal environments, telekinetic combat, and mysterious storytelling certainly set a high bar for this one, but the sequel promises to take everything up a notch and imagine more elaborate environments that feel alive and unpredictable, combined with upgraded powers that let you manipulate the world in even crazier ways, and throw in a story that dives deeper into the strange and unsettling Federal Bureau of Control universe. And the risk, of course, with this one is certainly overcomplicating it, but if Remedy keeps the balance between the spectacle, tension, and exploration, Control 2 could easily surpass the original and become a defining action-adventure experience for 2026. Number 5 is Marvel's Wolverine, and this is not your typical bright, quippy superhero game, as Marvel's Wolverine is going for intensity, brutality, and focus, much akin to the Logan movie in the franchise, which is my personal favorite, but Insomniac is stripping back the SS, leaning into tight combat, environmental destruction, and the character's raw personality. Wolverine's claws aren't just for show, they're integrated into every fight, letting players feel the weight and aggression in each and every encounter, and a darker tone and character-driven narrative set it apart from the open-world superhero fatigue that we've all definitely seen lately. And the challenge will be trying to actually make the story hit while still providing that fluid combat. But I certainly do think that Insomniac is up to the challenge, and Wolverine could be one of the standout action games of 2026. Number 4 is Fable, and Fable's revival is all about charm, humor, and meaningful player choice, the elements that made the originals legendary. And Playground Games has the tech and talent, but the real test is whether they can capture that whimsical, satirical tone while delivering modern RPG systems that feel satisfying. Expect lush, vibrant environments, quests that respond to your actions, and a sense of humor that actually lands, as Fable's success depends on getting the balance between nostalgia and innovation right, and if Playground Games does this successfully, it could not only satisfy longtime fans, but also introduce a new generations to one of the most beloved fantasy RPGs of all time. Cracking the top 3 today is Gears of War E-Day, and E-Day goes back to the beginning of the Locust War, offering a grittier, more intimate story for the franchise, while simultaneously aiming to refocus on the visceral combat that Gears is known for, while also exploring human stories amid the chaos. So with this one, we should expect tighter mechanics, improved enemy AI, and environments designed to challenge strategy as much as reflexes, and this is hopefully a game that will remind fans why this series became iconic in the first place, while also showing new players the stakes of the original war. And if E-Day strikes the right balance between the nostalgia, the storytelling, and the gameplay intensity, this should be a highlight of the year for action shooters and be a welcomed addition to a admittedly fledgling franchise. So our runner-up today at number 2 is Judas, and this is a single-player sci-fi shooter set aboard a massive decaying space city where factions and AI characters constantly react to your choices. And with Judas, you're not just following a story, you're forming alliances, betraying characters, and dealing consequences that change how situations play out. And the combat in Judas blends traditional gunplay with supernatural style abilities, letting you approach encounters aggressively or strategically at will. With Ken Levine behind the project, the emphasis on player-driven storytelling could separate Judas from the pack and make it feel genuinely different from anything else that arrives this year, and this is a title that we will certainly have our eyes on. The number 1 game on this list, of course, is no surprise at all. GTA 6 is the undisputed heavyweight of the year, as Rockstar doesn't just make games, they make cultural events. Expect a world that's massive, dense, and filled with emergent gameplay opportunities, and combine this with the storytelling, characters, and attention to detail that they always bring to the table, and this one will probably set a new standard for what open world games will be compared to for years to come. Every release this year, of course, will inevitably be honestly dwarfed by this one, as the stakes with this one are enormous, and Rockstar has a track record of delivering, so GTA 6 probably won't just dominate the charts, it will dominate conversation, streaming, and every corner of gaming culture. And whether you play it for the chaos, story, or just the sheer scale and exploration itself, it's the game that every single gamer, casual, hardcore, doesn't matter, has and will be watching. So there you have it, guys, 8 great games on their way this year. Which one did you guys like the best? Which one are you looking forward to the most? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know which ones we missed. We love the feedback. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that subscribe button. As always, I'm your host, Tooodamngolden, Omega Gaming, the final gaming community you'll ever join.